There always has to be some dude in my comments going, septum ring theory. Let's get the obvious thing out of the way. I don't care who you are. If you put any time or energy into judging other people's body modifications and art, let alone taking the time out of your day to tell them you don't like what they've done with their own body, you're probably not a very pleasant person. Now, I've gotten plenty of hate comments for this piercing here, but I was confused as to what the septum ring theory is. What is the theory that is being built? And the only definition I could find was women with septum rings make their trauma their whole personality. Now, if I was an incel, I would probably fall victim to this logic as well. Girl with piercing always talking about trauma and mental illness. Now, I do think alternative people, or people who are actively in rejection of society's expectation of what they are supposed to look like, especially when it comes to women reclaiming our own bodies and modifying them how we want, yeah, there is a little bit more mental health awareness that comes with that. And some people do make their trauma their whole personality. But there's a difference between that and being open and aware. Now, most of the people who are going to make this baseless, senseless comment are not trying to actually get into the intricacies of mental health and self-expression, so I will leave you with this. One of my favorite perks of this piercing right here is that it deters judgmental people, like the ones who leave those comments. Your value decreases when you get that piercing. You saying that to me signifies that I am not in the right place and I must escape immediately and get away from anyone like you, bro. And also, it's just really cute. I like it. And this way, some other baddies with septum piercings can find me. Don't judge a book by its cover.
You're saying septum ring theory. There's only 3 options. I think I've boiled it down. Let me know if I got it wrong. Okay, option 1, you're either an incel. Okay, I think that's an obvious one. Anybody who is saying septum ring theory. Okay, let's move on. And number 2, if you're not full incel, at least extremely lonely. Okay, maybe you've been dumped recently. Don't know how you had a partner to begin with, but I think that's probably where you're at. It's a lot of time on your hands if you're going, this is septum ring theory. Okay, third one, and this one I think makes a little more sense. Maybe everybody falls into this category. I think you're probably getting funneled down the alt-right pipeline. I think maybe you stumbled across the wrong fitness influencers. You probably don't like tattoos. You probably big on clean girl aesthetic. You like, I would never put a bumper sticker on a Bentley. You're so fucking boring. Come up with anything. Say something. The idea that you have to boil down your insult to...
Just learned what the septum theory is, and apparently, to people who are voted for the orange dude, it means girls who have their septum pierced have their trauma be their whole personality. Well, guess what? My trauma gave me a personality disorder. Don't know what you want me to do. Sorry.
Septum theory is a theory in which everybody who has a septum piercing is mentally unstable, weird, or has had trauma in their past. Everybody I've ever met who does have a septum piercing, including myself, falls into this category. But if you truly are going to judge people based off this theory and further stigmatize people who have trauma or just lack a piercing, you can suck my septum. While you're at it, a little bit of my snot might fall into your mouth, where you'll probably like it because you still have the mental capacity of a toddler who eats their boogers.
Hello everybody, today by request we're talking about the history of nose piercings. So the history of piercing your nose, specifically your nostril, goes back about 4,000 years and originates in the Middle East. It's even referenced in the Bible. From the Middle East, the tradition was carried over to India by the Mughal Empire in about the 1500s. Piercing your nose, either your nostril or your septum, is a traditionally non-Western affectation. You find nostril or septum piercings in various Asian, Middle Eastern, African, or indigenous American cultures. But it didn't enter into traditionally Western cultures until about the year 1913, and as with many things, you can blame the French for this. Here's a drawing of an Egyptian woman from the 19th century wearing a nostril ring. And here we have a picture of a Fulani woman with a septum piercing. And here's a picture of a woman from Nepal wearing something that I'm not going to pronounce correctly called a jamke balaki, which is an ornamented septum ring. Some tribes, like the Asmat from Indonesia, have some rather impressive septum piercings. During the period of European colonization of the Americas, explorers Diego de Lando and Yermino de Aguilar all noted different nose piercings that they observed among the Mayans and other cultures in the area. They reported that different stones could have different meanings, that the size and shape of the beads could denote the specific society that a person came from. So yeah, nose piercing has a long, storied, diverse, and fascinating cultural history.
So basically, anytime ever anyone brings up wanting to learn about piercings or becoming a piercer online, someone somewhere mentions, oh, read the piercing Bible. There's a lot of outdated information in the piercing Bible that's really not the best to learn from. But that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is transphobia, basically. The author of the piercing Bible, Elaine Angel, was married to Buck Angel, a very famous trans man and porn star who is problematic in his own right. But when they got divorced, in order to attempt to, not have to split assets and not have to pay money, Elaine decided to use the defense in court that because Buck had never gotten bottom surgery, he wasn't a real man, as only real men had that anatomy down there. And basically because they were technically both women, their marriage wasn't legal in the state, because this was before gay marriage was legalized. As you may imagine, opting to set a legal precedent that if you don't get bottom surgery or don't conform to specific things, you're not really trans or you're not really the gender you say you are is super harmful for a number of different reasons. Myself and other piercers have basically since then been asking Elaine to apologize and make a public statement saying, hey, I shouldn't have said this. This was wrong. Maybe donate some of the profits of her book to the Trans Legal Defense Fund or some kind of charity to help trans.
I have a severe disability is so funny to me, dude. Basically the idea of septum theory is that, if you have one, everyone can automatically tell what your political alignment is and that you have, all of this trauma and you've made it your entire personality. It's basically like blue hair and pronouns, as if everyone on the whole planet doesn't have pronouns. Do you know what I mean? So the idea of a septum theory, this was started because I made a video supporting Mamdani in New York because he's going to do great things for the people of New York. And all of the Republicans flocked to that video and decided they had nothing to refute Mamdani's, they realized that they were wrong. So all they had to say was, septum theory never fails. You have a fucking hog ring in your nose, blah, 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 look like a cow. And I was like, is that all? I know, I was there when this was stabbed into my nose. I am aware that this is here. That's all it is. It's just this silly little, oh, we know everything about you because you have one piece of jewelry. But if I take it out, which it's quite easy to take it out. I have to take it out for work. If I had one of those ones you could flip up, if I just flipped it up, you wouldn't be able to see it and you would have no idea that I am part of this septum theory nonsense, which invalidates your entire argument because it's one single piece of jewelry that I can easily get rid of. And then once I do that, their only argument is that I'm fat, which again is not an argument. It's just an observation. So it's septum theory. All it does is prove that the person saying it to someone else is, hold on, I'm finding it. We'll say less than intelligent as well.
How does me having a septum piercing affect somebody else?
Listen, yeah, the septum piercing is a queer uniform, and ain't nothing you gonna do about it.
And it looks fucking great. You know when I got my septum piercing, I thought I was the baddest bitch on this earth. Over it now, because when you first get it, it's like, oh my god.
I got a septum piercing, that eventually this bitch smells like cheese balls?
No, because nobody told me. Nobody. Out of everybody I know that has it, nobody fucking told me this shit smells like ass. When I first got it done, I was out and about, and I'm like, bro, something fucking stinks. Something really stinks, bro.
Gross.
And I'm with my sister, I'm like, do you smell that? She's like, no. And I'm just like, you know what? I might take this bitch out. For real. It's nasty. Say that, oh, it'll go away when it's healed. Bitch, it better. Or it's coming out. Because
having a septum piercing means the most rancid smell comes through your nose a few times a day.
Gross.
And then you're like, oh my god, it smells like fish. What is that? It's not fish. It's your piercing healing. But you just want to stop breathing. Because I wish you guys could smell through the phone. It smells so bad sometimes. Right now it's not smelling bad, but 5 seconds ago when I started filming this, it's smelling bad.
I need to do an academic study on why a certain age range of elder millennial Gen X people hate septum rings with a passion unlike anything else I've ever seen in my life. Any video that I post that gets over
all I think of
50,000 views, I start getting comments from men with profile pictures that look like this. solely talking about my septum ring, they'll go, septum theory is proven again. Bitch, what is a septum theory? You just don't like what I'm saying, just say that. My videos that I post, like, are just me talking to the camera like this. Like, my videos are really not centered around my appearance at all. But I will get...
Oh, we can tell.
I will get so many comments that are just like, lose the septum ring. That's all you had to say? Bitch, just scroll. I know that these are the kind of people who are like, oh my god, like, snowflake triggered, get over it. And it's like, you're kind of like so triggered by my septum piercing right now. I think you should get a grip. There's just this rage and ire towards a septum ring that like a really specific demographic of people have. And I like want to know, like sometimes I get people at work, like older people at work, and they just like straight up, they're like, so the nose ring, like what's the deal with that?
Stupid.
Why? I'm always just like, because I like it. I think it looks really good on my face. Walking up to someone and being like, so your haircut, what's the deal with that? It's fucking rude.
What is it about a septum ring that just automatically makes you a bad bitch extraordinaire?
Stop the cap.
I mean, here. The flair was already there, but the septum ring just takes it out of the atmosphere.
You will never be able to not.
Right, I know she's talking about the way that it looks, but does anyone else have like a constant smell that is so bad, but so fucking good at the same time?
Dude, I finally got my septum. Hey, now we're twins. Mom, look, I got a septum. Fuck, trying to murder me. Took like 10 years off my fucking life expectancy. How does it feel that you're murdering your mother? I waited 9 months and 2 days in labor to push out a fucking baby that looks like she belongs in a rodeo. You look like you get angered by a red flag. That septum just got you a free pass right out of my will, not getting shit when I die. Too bad considering the fact it looks like I'm gonna die sooner rather than later. Damn, okay, it's fake. It's fake. It was literally a prank. It's a magnet.